Next on the news, Pope Francis is following doctor's orders. He's back at Casa Santa Marta after almost 40 days in the hospital. We hear more about how he's doing now and how his stay at Gemelli was then. Bishop Robert Brennan connects with the next generation, sitting down with some leaders in faith at Brooklyn's Xaverian High School and asking the students at St. Clair Catholic Academy in Queens to welcome the Lenten pilgrims. Plus, he's a staple at this Dyker Heights parish because for Michael Carestia, the Shrine Church of St. Bernadette is his spiritual home.
I always make a joke. You're wheeled in at baptism and you're wheeled out at the end. Hopefully I'll come back at the end because it means so much to me, the church and my family here.
We'll introduce you to Michael. He's tonight's Pulse of the Parish. I'm Christine Persichetti. Currents News starts right now. As Pope Francis rests and recovers at home, the Vatican releases its first report since he returned to the Holy See on Sunday. The pontiff spent 38 days in Gemelli Hospital receiving treatment for a severe respiratory infection and double pneumonia. While the world didn't see or hear from the Holy Father much during that time, Currents News' Jessica Easthope reports one of his doctors is now revealing what was happening behind closed doors.
It's a moment the world almost didn't see. While now the Holy Father is back at his residence at Casa Santa Marta, continuing his treatment and even celebrating Mass, the Pope's primary doctor told Italy's newspaper on February 28th, the Holy Father almost didn't make it. That was the day he had experienced a bronchospasm, which limits the amount of oxygen the body receives, and inhaled his own vomit. Doctors feared the worst, having to choose whether to stop treatment and let the Pope die, or try all the drugs and therapies possible, risking damaging his other organs. In the end, they did what they could to save him, and the Pope got better.
The prescription is to partially continue the drug therapy, which he will still need to take orally for a long time, and the recommendation of a rest period of at least 2 months is very important.
Now the doctors have ordered the Holy Father to stay indoors, not meeting with large groups, including children, for risk of further infection. Pope Francis has continued his work in a limited capacity, only seeing his closest collaborators since he's been home. While there is no word on how this will affect future plans, like the Pope's involvement in Jubilee events, a planned visit with King Charles and Queen Camilla has already been postponed. Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
You can read more about the Holy Father's hospital stay in this week's tablet. The paper goes more in depth on that night, and the Pope and his medical team feared the worst. Plus, get coverage on the Diocese of Brooklyn that you won't find anywhere else, like this story of high school seniors who spent time in prayer with the Bishop of Brooklyn, Robert Brennan. Be sure to pick up the paper at your local church. You can also support the tablet and Catholic journalism by becoming a member. You can do so by going online to thetablet.org/become-a-member. Bishop Brennan recently helped some Brooklyn kids become leaders in faith.
We ask you to bless them.
The bishop visited Xaverian on Tuesday, meeting with the school's retreat leaders, ministers of Holy Communion, and confirmation candidates. He spoke with the teens, then blessed the medallions the school will present to their new Eucharistic ministers. Bishop Brennan ended the day visiting the students from their Genesis Middle School program. He gave them a blessing, and they gave him a school sweatshirt, making him an honorary Clipper. Some kids in Queens helped Bishop Brennan during the Diocese of Brooklyn's Lenten pilgrimage on Wednesday.
Ready? Welcome. Thank you. Very good.
The students of St. Clair Catholic Academy joining Bishop Brennan in welcoming the pilgrims to the Rosedale Parish. The bishop celebrated a morning mass with the kids and those making the journey, and he encouraged the students to be pilgrims of hope, just like those who are traveling throughout Brooklyn and Queens during Lent. After the mass, Bishop Brennan led the pilgrims in Eucharistic adoration. To see all the stops of the Lenten pilgrimage and make prayer requests for the pilgrims, just download the Lenten Pilgrimage app from the App Store or Google Play. You could also get more information by visiting lent.dioceseofbrooklyn.org. There's a parishioner over at the Shrine Church of St. Bernadette who makes sure everything's running smoothly. He's at the Diker Heights Church and School day in and day out, just like he was in the good old days. But back then, he wasn't exactly a teacher's pet. Now, Michael Carestia is the pulse of the parish. Michael Carestia has been walking the hallways at St. Bernadette Catholic Academy for decades.
It's like still walking through the halls and saying, oh God, I'm 59 years old now, I'm still here. But thank God I'm still here. And like I said, to help out in the church, anything I can do.
But back in the day when he wore a school uniform,
I couldn't wait to leave. You know, because I always was in trouble. But my older brother was an angel. And every time when I got in here, it was like, you're Chris's brother? Can't be. I was always in the principal's office and the ruler and so on.
No more rulers these days.
The plaque's going to go outside.
Just tape measures and drills. Michael is the facilities manager at the Shrine Church of St. Bernadette and its school in Diker Heights. He says he's come full circle. Now when he gets called to the principal's office, it's not for detention.
Most of the time, it's like being on the fire department. You never know when someone's going to call, like, oh, Mike, there's something broke upstairs. Oh, Mike, the toilet's broken. The kid threw up. A chair broke. A desk broke. Or Father Jeremy would call me, oh, Mike, there's something wrong with the sink in the church, or the rectory, or the convent. Always something. There's always something going on.
But whatever it is, the pastor, Father Jeremy Canna, says he can always count on Michael to check it out and fix it.
He treats it, as far as our church is concerned, as if it's his own house. The way he would want his house to be in order is just the same way he wants this Shrine Church and our neighboring academy to be as best they can be.
You see, Michael didn't just go to school here. He was baptized here, got married here, even walked his daughter down the aisle here.
I don't know if you want to call it a Brooklyn thing. You're here, your roots are here.
And even though he jokes about being back at St. Bernadette's.
Oh yeah, I'm doing my penance. Oh, without a doubt.
Michael says he knows this is where God wants him to be, and he plans to stay.
I always make a joke. You're wheeled in at baptism, and you're wheeled out at the end. Hopefully I'll come back at the end, because it means so much to me, the church and my family here.
And now you know Michael Carestia from St. Bernadette's and how he makes up the pulse of the parish. Joining us now with more about the parish of the Shrine Church of St. Bernadette is the pastor, Father Jeremy Canna. Hi, Father Jeremy.
Hello.
So Michael is a character. He seems to be joking all the time, but he's very serious when it comes to his faith. So why is he so invaluable to your parish?
Well, because everything that happens, I know I can always call him. If it can, even if I don't know that if it's even relevant to what he does, even if it's something that, even if it's just perhaps something that's maybe architectural, where it's not something he would work on it. I know he would either know who the first contact would be, or what the first step would be to solve the problem, and he always addresses the situation in such a way that doesn't feel burdened by it, more in the sense that just it's almost an opportunity to serve, and that's what to have someone like that to turn to is just so priceless.
And he's literally been there his entire life, and it seems like a lot of your parishioners have. What is it about your church that people don't leave?
Yes, no, the people that we have, so many of them, they mention the first pastor, Father Barilla. They have a whole, the history of the parish is, it's living in so many ways. A lot of the homes in the neighborhood, they're the first or second owners and such. They love the neighborhood especially. I think when they come to our Shrine Church, they see its history. They look at the name of the saint that is the first Shrine Church of St. Bernadette in the Western Hemisphere, and they recognize that we do have something special here, and perhaps that makes them just want to keep coming back.
And I love the shape of your church. Tell us a little bit about how the architecture affects, the parishioners' experience when you're sitting there.
Yeah, it's referred to as an Art Deco church. I love the archways. Archways are never lost on me anywhere I turn to see them. Yeah, so when you walk in, it does have the shapes does suggest something like a tunnel or something like a cavern. It does kind of harken back to the grotto scene or the grotto setting there where St. Bernadette had her apparitions. And so it actually gives us kind of a constant living reminder of what happened back there in the middle of the 19th century and the apparitions that St. Bernadette had of Mary, and allowing us to kind of see the fruits of those even up to this day.
And you can even hear the water trickling from the grotto. It's really very beautiful.
Absolutely want all the features that were kind of a part of the church, and it's not something that it's certainly not something I installed. This feature is there built in. There's an indoor one. There's an outdoor one with water trickling. Why not? I think just allow the grotto setting and that moment of again that moment in Lourdes to be constantly touching the hearts of the people who come through our doors.
Absolutely. Everyone should go see it. Father Jeremy Canna, pastor of the Shrine Church of St. Bernadette, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
All right. If you know someone who is the pulse of their parish, let us know. Email us their story at newstips@desalesmedia.org or call our 24-hour number 718-517-3122. That is this Currents News Update. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us, because we are putting your faith in the news. Hope to see you again next time.